Hello and welcome to another inspiring episode of Women's World on Global Television. I am Kike Lomo Okeri, and as always, with me in the studio is Aniete Patrick and Priscilla Obasi.
Always
Welcome.
a pleasure to be here.
You're welcome.
Yes, we're always here to ensure that the program is going well.
Yeah, welcome. Today we are focusing on a trending conversation from social media to family gathering to relationship, counseling rooms, and indeed we are talking about financial expectation for women, for today's women. No income, no marriage. This topic sits right at the heart of the modern dating, empowered marriage preparation, and even national development. Today's women is ambitious, resourceful, and constantly navigating a changing economic world. But rising costs, shifting family roles, and increasing career demands and financial expectation has evolved. On today's program, we are taking a closer look at what financial empowerment means for a modern woman and how she can position herself for stability and growth. More women today are insisting on being financially stable before entering marriage. But what shifted? Why now? Right after the break, please stay with us. Welcome back. It's Women's World on Global Television. Welcome back. It's Women's World on Global Television. Is the empowerment societal expectation or simply the economic reality that we are faced today that is changing the narrative? To unpack this question deeply and meaningfully, we have a special guest with us via Zoom, a woman whose voice, expertise, and work speak for themselves. Joining us via Zoom is an incredible woman making a real impact in families and communities. She is the founder of the Women in Me Initiative, a certified relationship and marriage counselor, and a family coach dedicated to building stronger homes and empowered women. Let's welcome Buchi Onu. Hello, Buchi.
I'm happy here. Yeah. Good afternoon. Can you hear me clearly?
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. We are honored to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right,
I'm so excited. Yeah.
All right, to start off, how did we get here? How did we get to this point where financial readiness has become a strong expectation for women before marriage?
Thank you so much for that question. Well, the truth is that there has been a shift. We are coming from somewhere. We are coming from a place where women were expected to be heard, or rather to be seen, not heard. A place where women were expected to be totally dependent on their husbands for survival. Okay? We are coming from a place where girl children, daughters were not allowed to go to school. We are coming from a place that the woman was not confident in herself. And so we thank God for the feminist movement that has brought us to where we are today. And you know, here in Africa, especially the African men, they think feminism is all about equality, fighting for equality in marriage, in the home. You know, a feminist is a woman that is not submissive to her husband, that is, you know, challenging his authority, but that's not true. We are here today creating, you know, awareness and sensitization on the need for women to be financially empowered because of feminists, because group of women and also men who believed in this movement stood and said, no, a woman cannot continue to be seen and not heard. A woman's primary office shouldn't just be the kitchen, and the home, of course, but she has a lot to offer to the society. And that is where we are coming from. And so there have been this shift over the years. And as time went on, the economic realities and so many things that is going on in our society, of course, you know, abuse. A lot of women have faced abuse and couldn't find their voice, abuse in marriage, and so on and so forth. And the only way a woman could find her voice is by being financially empowered. And of course, you know that the economic realities, the inflation, cost of living is on the increase in prices of goods and services. And it becomes, you know, very, very important for the woman to earn, because the whole family responsibilities cannot fall on the shoulder of the man alone. Gone are those days when you didn't need to pay rent, you know, you didn't need the food from the farm is enough for the family. But right now, everything, education, healthcare, nurturing the kids, everything, you know, revolves around money. And it's time for more women to get financially empowered. And that's why we are here today. And I'm so excited that through the feminist movement, we've gotten to where we are today.
Thank you so much, Buchi. It's good to have you. I love the fact that you brought this narrative to us. But let's look at this. Because the women of yesterday didn't necessarily face this so closely, something has changed. Let's look at the society. The society is expecting a whole lot from women. Financial stability, financial independence, to be a co-provider in the house, and also a contributor to a long-term family planning. This shift reflects modern dynamics where both parents work, support household expenses, and jointly build the home. So in your perspective, in terms of home building, how will the woman navigate through all of this, looking at her strengths psychologically, career-wise, and how she mirrors herself in the society to find a balance with all of this standing for her?
Well, the woman is a strong being. The woman is a strong species. You will not understand the strengths a woman has, and even as a woman, until you face certain challenges and you understand what is inside you. I call it the inner strength, the inner strength. So you talked about a woman, you know, at home navigating her role, her primary role as a woman, a wife and a mother, and of course a daughter, and now adding financial empowerment to this. The truth is that all of this role cannot be fulfilled without money.
Okay.
Like I used to ask myself, why would a woman go into marriage without an income? And that is why I started this campaign, no income, no marriage. Because the office of a woman needs money to run.
True.
Everything about it. Everything about it. And you cannot afford to keep asking for begging. Every step you take, you have to plead with your husband, can I do this? You know, as little as Pepe, Maggie, your son is ill, you need malaria drugs, you have to call your husband, please send money for medication. You know, gas has finished, send money for gas. The man becomes overwhelmed. Before you know it, the pressure is telling on him, and it will affect the peace in your marriage. Before you know it, the man begins to avoid the home. So the truth of the matter is, it's important for women to be financially empowered. And I want to let every woman know, using this platform, that you're strong. You may think you will not be able, but I want you to understand that everything you're called to do in marriage, in family, you know, in the home front, in the society, needs money. For you to even advance, be it in your business, in your career, self-development, you need finance. It's the reality. And most times we shy away from those realities. You know, we tend to prepare the girl child for marriage emotionally, teach her submission, teach her a whole lot, you know, how to be that dutiful and responsible mother. But we fail to get her financially ready. You know, I believe we'll come to that later. So it's important that our girl children are equipped, you know, with the financial knowledge they need to play their roles as good wives and good mothers. We cannot separate the two. And that is why I keep advocating no income, no marriage.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma, for that. So when we talk about financial readiness, what exactly does that mean for the modern woman? The phase of a woman's life is in such that for a woman that is educated, she goes through school, and when she's done with school, the next phase is, you know, to go get a job or something. And we want to talk about the fact that the woman's biological clock is a reality too. So how do you balance, you know, trying to meet up with finances and also trying to meet up with your biological clock?
And a follow-up to that question. Is it about saving or having income or simply being able to take care of yourself?
It's about all of them. It's about all of them. You cannot take care of yourself effectively if you do not have a financial income, if you do not have a stable income. So it's about all of that. And to answer the first question, the truth is, I agree with you. You know, a woman's life is a dynamic one. Everything happening so fast. Okay, she approaches puberty very early in life. Before she's rounding up from school, she's already walking into marriage. I have friends that got married while in school, and before you know it, pregnancy comes calling, childbirth, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 kids running around the place. And that is why it's important for a woman to plan. Financial readiness is not just about earning. It's not just about making money. It has a lot to do with, you know, planning around it, understanding what the future holds and how to, you know, plan for the future financially. The money coming in, how am I going to spend it? How have I budgeted? Every money leaving your hands should be taken account of, okay? You should know how much coming in, how much is leaving, how much you're saving. And the truth is that a woman is strong. I had said this earlier on. It's important. That's why we are advocating that it's better before marriage. It's better you're able to understand how to earn, how to spend. You have all this knowledge about savings, budgeting. It will help you as a woman. It's not when you are pregnant you begin to think, I've not learned any skill. I've not learned which skill will I learn now, which entrepreneurship skill, which business am I going to start? It's going to be all encompassing. The pressure is going to put you out. So it's better you start early, understanding that you know your dynamic nature, and there's a lot running for you as a woman. You are a home builder, you have to submit, you have to answer to your husband, of course. There is a lot to do. You also have to grow, develop yourself. You shouldn't be a shadow of yourself in marriage. Okay, you should set goals as a woman and grow in it. And when you start early to plan your life, you know, like we said, a girl child's life is dynamic. That is why we should start early. We've been focusing on the boy child over the years. I don't think in recent times I've seen any man getting married without an income. In fact, that's their criteria for marriage. Financial independence, financial stability. But we overlook these truths as women. So when we start early to, you know, train our girl child, expose them to skills that they are passionate about, that can earn them an income, it will help. Before you know it, at early 20s, when your girl child is ready for marriage, she is already financially equipped. She has already started earning her income, and then she's ready to embrace motherhood. Because the truth is, everything about motherhood, being a wife, revolves around what's money. That is the truth. I don't know why you should go into marriage without an income, because you need something to build on. You don't have to start figuring it out as a young mother, because the pressure will be too much. And that's why you see a lot of women feeling so unfulfilled, tolerating a lot of abuse. If you're not lucky to get married to a good man, you do not have a voice, you begin to navigate all this. And at the point you're finding yourself, you're already, maybe in your late 40s or early 50s, and you will not be happy because that youthful vigor and vibrance you need to build, an income for yourself, a stable income, is already gone.
Interestingly, that you just hit the nail on the head and how we want it. How is this new financial expectation influencing relationships, dating patterns, and the decision to marry? You've mentioned the fact that people need to be prepared in terms of the financial state. Let's look at the marriage and the partnership as well in terms of financial competition we have around it, where we see some marriages operate as partnership, while in others, women feel the pressure provide their worth in terms of the finances they bring to the table, because they always hear the word, what do you bring to the table? And that's not just talking about yourself, it's talking about the financial strength. And then we also see where men expect women to share expenses yet still maintain traditional nurturing roles. So we look at the partnership and the relationship, how this can mold a woman to stand. Yes, women are strong, they have their strengths, and you said we prepare the women, the young girls, to know what entrepreneurship skills they should have to build their capacity. But while nurturing the girls in terms of their financial stability, what happens to the men? Because I see you do a lot of coordination and preparedness for women. But we also need to speak to the male women to build the men, to understand the strengths the woman carries to put out this financial needs for herself as well.
Okay, to follow up on that question. Now, many relationships today are ending not because of love per se, but because one partner, mostly the woman, feels financially either unprepared or I would say overburdened too, because there's such a thing. Yeah, there's such a thing as. So how do we balance that overburden? Do you understand? Just to add to what she said, how do we balance the partnership? Because a lot of women, when they get to that point where they start to make it, there's this tendency to want to, either carry all the burden or start to feel like the superwoman in that, relationship. So what would you say to such women, and how do we balance all of these things?
Okay, thank you. The questions are just coming left, right, and center. But let me start with the first question. The truth of the matter is a lot of posts I've been making, and even in my program, we have a program, Summit of the Sexes, where we have both genders coming under one roof, to cross-fertilize ideas. The fact is that we cannot totally take ourselves off the male gender and vice versa. That's how God made it. We would have to do things together, work it out in career, in the office sector, at home, everywhere. We must come together and agree. We must come together and work to make our marriages and families a better place to be. And of course, we know that marriage and family is the nucleus of the society. Marriage is the skeletal framework of the family, and family is the nucleus of the society. And if we do not get it right in family, we have failed even in the society. I always talk about domesticating the male child. It's very important. I did a post on this, and I've been speaking about this. To be able to create that balance in marriage, in family, where one gender is not overburdened. A lot of women are depressed. I know a lot of women today that are taking drugs. I'm not talking based on what some here say. Yeah. These women are friends. They are on medication. If they do not take it, they slip into depression, and it's always bad. Okay, and it's because of marriage, a marriage they went into, and they are shouldering all the responsibility. The emotional support is not there. The financial support is not there. Nothing, and the woman begins to overwork herself. So I actually expect the male community to do a lot, because the truth is, when we are talking, when we are speaking, it's like, we are being biased. We are not being truthful. We don't want to submit. They tag us feminists. I had said what's feminist. Equality in education, equality, at the workplace, women should be allowed to work and earn like men. That's what it is. But they tag us feminists. So it will really be a thing of joy to have more men speaking to themselves about, being involved in the home front. Okay, I'm working, I'm earning, my wife is also working and earning. In the morning, I can wake up as a man, help her bath the kids, prepare the children for school while she's in the kitchen making food for everyone to eat. You don't have to be on the bed pressing your phone, or reading the newspaper while your wife is doing all of this. You're going to work, you're earning, she's earning. So you must learn to support. You must learn to fall in when you need to fall in, when she's not there, when she comes back home late at work. You must learn when you know she's coming later. You should prepare the meal so that when she comes back, there's something to eat. You must not say, let me wait. Even if she comes back 9 o'clock, she will serve me. That is wrong. At the end, you will have a woman that is worn out and you will not be happy as a man. So it's important for men to understand the need. Now that you people are saying, what are you bringing to the table? You have forgotten that the woman has laid her life on the table. For a woman to agree to be the mother of your children, to birth your children. Of course, you know that pregnancy and childbirth is a life and death situation. For her to accept to have laid down her life for you. So that is enough already. That is enough. And now we are saying women should be financially empowered. The truth is that's a lot for the woman. But I'm telling you, it's a good pressure. It's a good pressure because you have your voice, and if unfortunately you fall into the wrong marriage, where you are abused, where you're tortured, you have a voice, you have your money to fall back to. You will not be like, where am I going to go to? Who is going to feed me about my kids? How would we solve? And then you keep staying there till you lose your life. So that is why we are advocating this. But I'm also saying the men should be domesticated. And it comes from a place of love. If you say you love her, you should feel her pain. You should be willing to help. You should be willing to be a father. Fatherhood is not donating sperm. No. Fatherhood is more than that. When you're doing this, you think you're pleasing your wife, you're bonding with your kids. The children are watching. Your male children, they are seeing how to treat a woman, how to value a woman. They are learning a lot. It's not about you talking. It's about what you do as a father. So I just wish every institution, the church, the school will learn to speak to our boys, to be, emotionally concerned, emotionally available, be part of building their home, running the errands at home, and be involved in your marriage. I'm sorry I didn't take the second question. Maybe she'll ask again. I'm still trying to remember what exactly.
All right, Ma, talking about what you're bringing to the table, because most men believe that they are the head, they are supposed to be the provider of everything. Do you think this trend is driven by culture, global influence, or economic survival?
Please come again. Sorry, the network.
I said, talking about bringing, what are you bringing to the table? Most men believe that they are the head of the family. They are supposed to provide. The women belongs to the kitchen. They are supposed to take care of the home and all that. Talking about you being financial dependent, more of this trend, do you think is cultural or global influence or economic survival?
Okay, financial independence is a blend of all what you've mentioned. It's a blend of survival. It's a blend of economic reality, or what you said, I don't know, and then the global influence and all of that. It's a blend of all of that because every single day we come to the realization that for you to survive here on earth, money is needed. Your daily runnings, the food you eat, shelter, clothing, healthcare, everything, education revolves around money. So the truth is, yes, survival one, because we parents, a lot of parents, African parents, like I had said earlier, we prepare their child for marriage and everything without preparing them for adulthood. Being an adult is being able to survive on your own, being able to take care of your finances. Okay, being able to earn an income, being able to provide for yourself. So we need to understand this, that survival first, even before marriage. If you're still struggling to survive means you can't even afford maybe two square meal a day. You can't even afford 2 meals a day. For yourself alone, no. For yourself alone. I'm not talking about your wife or your husband and then children, maybe 2, 3. And then you're still struggling, and then you're going into marriage. So yes, survival, the fact that we are in a modern era where everything about survival revolves around money brings us to that reality. And then it's a global trend. Yes, it's a global trend because everyone is coming to that awareness and sensitization that we need a mother that is financially stable, financially ready, financially empowered. The man cannot shoulder all of this responsibility all alone. You know, a family where both couples, both parents are earning is what is a stable family. Is a stable family. The truth is that, you know, it's also for security purpose because you don't know tomorrow. Yes, we pray for the best, but we prepare for the worst. Tomorrow, your husband may not be. I'm also talking to the men because there are a lot of men that think this financial empowerment we are talking, it's going to make the woman bossy, like you say. She will lose respect to her. Yes, she will not pay attention to her primary responsibilities as the husband is preparing for work. She's also going out and go, you know, and a lot of things in the home front suffer. That's not so. That's not so because we women, we are pitying the men, but they don't understand. We want our men alive, healthy and strong. We don't want to see them having stroke, you know, early in life because of financial pressures, having to meet up. And do you know what it takes for a woman to add that to her already primary response, which is a lot, which is choking. And now she has to also figure out how to earn an income to support you. So women need all the support they can get from their husbands, from the society, because we are doing this so that tomorrow, God forbid, if our husband is not able to earn, something happens. No matter how rich you are as a man, something can happen tomorrow and you're not able to work. You know, maybe for a period of what happens to your family? What happens? Have you asked yourself if you're laid off from work or you're not able, you're not mentally okay, or something just happens and you fall ill, you're not able to work, or your business crumbles, what happens?
All right, so I'm sorry, but we need to take you out from there because we would just wanted to quickly answer this because you're also taking the response from how we want it. That just like you mentioned, when a woman is financially stable, she's perceived by the society as confident and secured and boastful because she has her independence and she's stable financially. Do you think families sometimes help or wasn't the expectation when she sees herself in that scenario? Because I've seen scenarios where the man is comfortable and he feels the woman doesn't have any need to work. She needs to stay. But we are encouraging women to understand their strength. I just wanted to run this through in the next 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that family, especially parents, have a huge role to play, you know, to prepare their daughters, financially empower them before marriage. They must understand that it's a necessity. It's a necessity. It's not, I don't feel that if a woman is disrespectful, it's because she's earning. No, it's a character. It's a character thing. And it's a character thing. And men must understand that if you claim you love your wife, you must give her the opportunity to grow. That your wife is growing financially, you are also growing as a man, and the family is for the benefit of the family. So I know, I understand we are in the African society where we have a lot of stereotype beliefs and bias out there, but families that are learned, families that understand the importance of their child, a daughter being financially empowered, will do the right thing and will do it early enough because, you know, it's like your child swimming, you know, going into the river without knowing how to swim. You shouldn't go into marriage without financial empowerment, without at least starting from somewhere. A woman needs more supporters.
Okay, great.
All right. Financial dependence does not just help women, it strengthens the home. Let's take a quick short break now. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Stay with us.
Thank you.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's still Women's World on Global Television. We've been discussing financial expectation for modern women, whether she is professional, an entrepreneur, a mother, or all of the three. Today's women is expected to manage multiple financial responsibility, from contributing to household bills to planning our own terms, long-term security. The financial burden has expanded. And while these expectations may feel heavy, they also present an opportunity, the chance for women to take full responsibility of their journey. All right, ladies, let's talk among ourselves for a moment. Let's start with something very light. For a marriage, because we didn't feel the financial burden ready, how ready are we, is a teenager or an upcoming mother, how ready should that person be financially before the person think about getting married or even relationship? Let's start with relationship. Yes, let's start from relationship.
I just remember the question. I was in a meeting in church. Was it on Wednesday? And the pastor, somebody asked. It was a question and answer session for relationship, and somebody says, "How do you handle a man that does not give you money?" And then they said, "What about you as a woman? Would you give money to?" Exactly. So what you said now is just, in dating, there should be, as a woman, you don't just go to a relationship and expect that the man will be feeding you. Someone that's not your father. Do you understand? One of the women answered and asked, "Is that guy your father?" So there's this mentality that our young girls have now. Relationship is, a business. You pay monthly salary to the person. You need to invest, you need to give. Yes, love gives. We all know that. But that mentality, what do I call it now? This entitlement mentality that a lot of ladies have. That I am in a relationship and you're supposed to send me monthly allowance, you're supposed to send me this, you're supposed to send... A man does not have...
Money for hair.
Money for upkeep. And all of that. As long as a man is not married to you, if he chooses to do that for you, it's a choice. It's a choice. He's not obliged to take care of you because you're not his wife.
True.
You get. And as much as a man gives you in a relationship, you should also know that it's your duty to also give. Giving is not gender sensitive. Do you understand? Our money is not gender sensitive. You, as much as you're expecting, also be a giver. So it just, the question you asked, when you said, and even in dating, just brought all of these things back. But it's important for women to understand that the act of making money is not, like I established, is not gender sensitive. While you are dating, whatever phase in life, in short, as a child, women should learn to teach their children financial literacy. Women should learn, whether you're a boy or a girl, it's part of the reasons why a lot of people grow old and it's difficult for them to make money because they have not been taught financial literacy. Yeah. Know how to multiply money, know how to save, know how to plan, and all of that. It makes you a better human being. So there is no age, whatever it is, 7 years, 6 years, let your child start learning how to, and at some point introduce them to skills. Let them know how to solve problems, because money, the value of money is based on how much problem you can solve. So if you're not someone that can solve problems for the world, you would definitely be broke. So
Anita, the reality now is financial confidence, does it really influences emotion now?
Okay, I think... I'm not going to use the word think. I know. I won't say think, because if you think, that means you're assuming, or you're working based on assumptions and all that. But knowing the facts helps you stand tall, know your worth and value.
Yeah, that's
financial independence is linked to personal freedom. I'm a proof of that, because I know how much my financial freedom has helped me basically in standing tall in terms of real life scenarios, knowing my worth, knowing my value when it comes to the real life scenario. So as a woman, in terms of preparedness for marriage, preparedness for relationship, or inside the marriage itself, you need to understand your space of freedom. Because if you know your freedom, you know your worth. And then you need to understand that the fact that if you have your financial stability or your financial freedom, it reduces vulnerability for you as a woman, and you have better decision making. Because when you have scenarios where you have your finances in your hands and you need to meet your needs, you will not be vulnerable. You will not be limited to decision making when you're in front of challenges. When you have a challenge in front of you and your spouse is not there, you can quickly take decisions. You can quickly run through that thing. You can solve this thing. You become a solution bearer. You can get to the action. For instance, in marriage, your child is ill. Would you wait for the man to come from the office and send you money? For instance, he's stuck where he is and he cannot make the transaction. What happens to you? So it is not something to joke with. Financial freedom as a woman or financial stability is something we must hold in high esteem. Like I told ourselves, as women or as a man as well, when you're preparing for marriage, get your acts together. You don't need to be a billionaire or a trillionaire before you get into it, but be sure of your focus, where you're going to, have certain thing that can cover you. You have the finances that can cover you as a man, but can what you have or what you earn take care of 2 persons? You need to start with that. After that, what? Can you take care of 3 persons? Because the child will come into the picture. You look at responsibility from both families. Your parents, your wife's parents, these are extended expenses that will come to you. And the woman cannot just sit down there, because let's look at this. When women who solely rely on their husbands may face stigma. You'll feel limited to personal choices, because at that point, when there are challenges, you'll be thinking, what do I do? You're just there. You don't have a choice. You don't have anything to say to yourself than to just wait. And that's where you become vulnerable. That's why when you see this day, the trend of domestic violence, when you're solely dependent on the spouse, you just become, I don't want to use the word that's coming to mind right now, but I feel it is right for you to know your choices, know the right time to speak, and not because of your capacity. So let's build our strengths as women. Let's build our financial strength and financial capacity in terms of giving ourselves strength. The rise of financial empowered women is the focus, is the major way to keep our track going. I always tell women, if you own your business, you become the strength. You need to go. But we'll keep this conversation going after this time out. Please stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Talk, a program where we highlight political issues concerning Nigeria. And
thank you for joining us here on Global Morning. I'm Uyi Agumofemi.
You know how we do it on Teacher Buzz Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
A joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as...
Very numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Face to Face is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time, where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to...
World News in United Nigeria. I have a guest.
Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
One of them is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
It's good to have you back. We had that conversation going where women need to understand their strengths in building capacity and knowing that financial freedom makes you stand tall and less vulnerable to society. I was giving us that tips that you need to understand that you need to invest in real estate by owning your own business. It makes you less vulnerable, like I mentioned. If you have real estate business going for you, if you have digital assets going for you as a woman, you would not be limited. That's the major focus of our financial education for today's women, because women need to understand their strengths. Our guest earlier shared the understanding that the woman's strengths, the woman's capacity comes from her inner strength. So when you know that women have their inner strength, with the fact that today's men also need to also understand where to be there emotionally and psychologically to build the women's strength, and also that women are the best part, but it needs to come with the focus of love. If you have love at heart when you're supporting your woman in the household, in the front runner, in the home front, whatever, it gives her the strength. Don't forget that when you also, as a woman, no matter what you have, you also need to plan financial literacy for your children, for every young lady around you, so they understand their strengths and what they can give back to the world as well when it comes to marriage, relationship, career-wise, every aspect of their life. Also, retirement is also part of it. You also need to plan for retirement independently. Like she said, our guest said earlier, if you understand your strengths as a woman, you will know that with your financial strength, you will know that you can plan for retirement, you can have your own financial strength, your own space, your own business. You are built and all round, so nothing shakes you, nothing takes you off balance, because you know your focus, you know your, because these days I tell women that what a man sees you for basically is value addition. If you understand your value addition, your what, you will stay with a man who has leadership focus, who has an idea of where he's going to and where he wants to take you. And I'll hand over to Kike, who's going to bring back our guests to just wrap this up, because we have limited time and we want to bring this going forward.
All right, still with us via Zoom is the founder of Women in Me Initiative, a certified relationship and marriage counselor, a family coach dedicated to building strong homes and empowered women. Buchi Onu, you're welcome back, man. All right, on a quick note, before we call it a wrap today, is love.
The woman in an acronym, the woman in me, not the women in me. The woman
okay, the
in
woman
me.
in me. All right, thank you very much for that correction. Okay, is love truly enough when one's partner is financially dependent?
Is love truly enough?
Enough, yeah. When one's partner is financially dependent.
No.
Okay.
No. Well, I don't quite get that question. Maybe
Okay,
you should break it down.
let's paraphrase this better. For instance, some marriages has to do with partnership, but some has to do with the woman faring more. In this scenario, does love play the better role? Does love cover when one partner has more in terms of the woman for, let's say the woman has more or the man has less in this scenario? Is love enough to suffice in all of this?
Of course, yes. A lot of people do not understand the definition of love. They feel love is a feeling. No, love is a sacrifice. Love is a sacrifice of patience, of tolerance. Love is being happy for your partner, wanting the best for your partner, working with your partner to achieve, whatever will make your partner happy. If you know that career is what gives your wife joy, then you have to make it happen. You have to let her be. And when I hear women, I've met with a lot of women, I've counseled people, both men and women, and you hear this, choose between the job, your job, and the marriage. Choose between your business. You hear this complaint often, and I'm like, what's this? A man that loves you would not say that. In fact, that is the first sign of an abusive relationship. That's the first sign of a narcissist. A narcissist will want to, control you by stopping you from progressing financially, because he knows when you're financially empowered, you have a voice. You can't tolerate everything. You will not tolerate him trampling on your rights in